Good evening.
And congratulations on your amazing award, which I should have said was for being a COVID hero, for keeping this incredible platform going throughout the pandemic. So amazing one-off award. I just want you to take us through your week, really, because this is what we do on The Thick of It every week. Someone who's hit the headlines that week, and you've certainly hit the headlines this week. So just take me back to the beginning of the week. Was it a normal week at school before you got this prize?
Oh no! So on Monday we filmed the ceremony for the Global Teacher Prize, and it was Stephen Fry presenting, and he was presenting from the Natural History Museum. So it was all done virtually. He was actually there in person in black tie, and we were sort of sitting in different countries around the world, kind of participating in the ceremony. I had this sort of Union Jack on my table because some of the other finalists had sort of full kind of country dress.
You had to keep the side up, didn't you?
Yeah, and so there was a sort of like secret phone call with me just before to tell me that I'd won this kind of COVID Hero Prize. And in fact, when the competition initially started, it didn't exist, and they decided, given the kind of current situation, that they wanted to have this sort of separate competition where they'd have a separate panel voting on it. And I was just delighted to hear that I'd got that. And then, so we had the ceremony, and then they announced it on Thursday, so they edited it together, and that's when we all found out who had won. They were quite secretive about who was the actual overall winner, and he very generously, he's giving away half of his $1 million prize to the remaining 9 finalists. So I get an 18th share of his $1 million prize in addition to the COVID Hero Prize I've got.
It's absolutely amazing. Very generous indeed. So you knew about that on Monday as well, did you then?
Well, he actually said in his initial application that he'd always planned to do that from the outset. So in some ways, we were kind of rooting for him to win because we got a slight share of his prize. But yeah, amazingly generous of him. And yeah, it's been completely bonkers since, like in terms of the number of interviews I had. I've got Good Morning Britain coming up next week. I just had to like a few hours ago record some footage for Italy's state broadcaster. That's not a gig I expected to get. So yeah, it's been a very emotional couple of days really. And I'm just really delighted. Like Boris Johnson at the ceremony actually announced me as the winner, and I think in Commons I was part of Gavin Williams' speech actually. So even like there's an email sent to all head teachers today as part of the Department for Education newsletter, and sort of with a lengthy paragraph about it. So I've been getting like billions of emails and such, and it's a bit of a frenzy at the moment. I mean, some ways waiting for it to quieten down a bit, but no, I'm just enjoying the attention while it lasts.
Have you had any contact direct from the government? I mean, the Prime Minister called you a hero.
But not yet, but we'll see.
I'm sure
it's just nice to be part of his good books.
The honours in the post, yeah. But so tell me, how many interviews have you actually been approached for?
Well, it depends if you mean the last week or September, because in September that's when I learned I was in the top 10, and I was in page 3 of the Times yesterday. I've been in the Financial Times. There was a full feature article with a Daily Mail journalist where I had to teach as much GCSE maths as I could in 2 hours. That was good fun. I was in I've lost track. Evening Standard twice. The Eye.
Wow. You're keeping them all in a cuts book.
I said it's hard to manage it all. It's completely bonkers.
I mean, you sound really excited, which is great because it's such an achievement. But obviously, you had to keep this secret, did you? From when you recorded the thing and found out you got this special prize at the beginning of the week, did you have to keep the secret all the way through the week?
Oh yeah, I had my best poker face on, so I had a number of students like, so did you win? But I just get to see it because I hadn't won the overall prize, but I'd won this other COVID Hero Prize, which most people didn't know about in advance. So I kept it secret. No one knew apart from a few colleagues and my parents.
So when it all went public on Thursday, wasn't it? I think yesterday. Yeah.
Yep.
So how have your students reacted at school?
Well, yeah, so in fact, the link was sent around by the head teacher just before the ceremony started because it was broadcast live on YouTube. And so it conveniently coincided with sort of break time and the form time. So a lot of students around the school were watching on the projectors in the different classrooms. I was watching it from the privacy with the head teacher and one of the deputy heads who used to be my boss. He used to be the head of maths, so a bit more privacy there. But no, I could actually see through the window all the students watching it, the people in my floor watching it, and then sort of when I came to them later, they all kind of clapped and cheered me, and it was just a wonderful feeling, really.
What did your boss say to you?
It wasn't, here's a raise, that would have been nice. But,
That's interesting. Mind you, got the prize money.
He was very proud, and he was actually there was a kind of top 10 video short film made about me, and he was in it. He was just absolutely lovely. He's the best guy ever.
And you are sharing the you've got this part of the $500,000 prize money, and you've got your own prize money as well. So what are you going to do with the money? Have you decided?
It's all going towards my platform, frostmathscom. My cost's increasing because it's used by 1.5 million hits a day. And you've got the server costs.
Wow.
And it's been so much of a drain on my time because I've an issue trying to run the whole thing myself, and I'm trying to gradually kind of get the sort of help and expertise of other people, and that obviously costs money. I'm trying to expand more globally as well, so I've already liaised with most of the exam boards in this country to sort of have their backlog of questions, but I'd love to be able to cater for the curriculums for other countries, because even though it's used quite a lot globally, it's not used so much by non-British international schools, and that's really what I'd like to do, to really kind of reach out to as many kids as possible, particularly during the lockdown. That I've received lots of emails from, say, schools in Brazil, like last week, for example, saying we're still in lockdown, schools are not open, and we're sort of coping with your platform mathematics. And it'd be nice to sort of help the non-British schools as well, because it's obviously a global problem, and there's billions of kids out there, so just want to help as many of them as possible.
I mean, it's a free platform, and you turned your back on a well-paid job in the city. So is money not what gets you up in the morning? Is it the challenge, the academic challenge, more than anything else?
Well, I have some income from other sort of exploits and such, but the thing is, it's just my philosophy to, I want kind of, people have different varying kind of financial situations, and when I was young, my parents and family didn't have much money. I just went to a bog standard comprehensive school, and I didn't have the education opportunity some kids have, and around the world, students are in much worse situations than I had. So I just want to make sure that regardless of people's income, that everyone has that equal opportunity, which is why my site will always be free.
Amazing to hear that. And, you know, it is a really encouraging story that I believe you failed the 11 plus, but your amazing maths potential was spotted by a dedicated teacher. So what is your message to children who might right now be trying to struggle with their maths homework?
I think it's just to realise that everyone can do maths. I think there's too much of this kind of attitude with adults that I'm more of an English history person, and sort of boxing themselves as a certain type academically. And I really think like maths is a kind of universal language in the same way that we sort of understand kind of language in a kind of universal way. We don't really have to think about how we form sentences. I think it's just about how we sort of visualise certain concepts in maths, and I think it just requires a good teacher, really, and finding sort of the best maths resources out there. So there's plenty of things available. It's not just my site, but plenty other, like Corbett Maths, for example. He's a great guy, and he offers all this stuff for free. So it's basically watching those kind of teaching videos and taking advantage of the wealth of mathematical resources out there.
Well, Jamie Frost, congratulations on your award, and thank you so much for taking us through your week in the thick of it.